Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the match reaction and player ratings for Arsenal's 2-0 win over Leeds United in the round of 16 of the Carabao Cup. We did it, we got the win. Not the best of first halves, but the second half was pretty good. We got the win. As long as you get the win and go to the next round, that is all we are asking for. So as usual, I've put a poll in the chat section on YouTube. Make sure to vote for your man of the match. Was it Niles? Was it Cedric? Was it Leno? Or was it Chambers? Who was your man of the match? Make sure to vote. And if you're watching on Facebook, as always, just comment who your man of the match was. Make sure to smash the like button. And yeah, as we get into the match reaction, the first part will be the match reaction, and then the later part will be the player ratings. We'll try to rate the players as well. So before that, make sure to comment who your man of the match was and make sure to smash the like button. So yeah, we did it. So far this season, 3 games in the Carabao Cup, 3 clean sheets, 3 victories against West Brom, 6-0, against Wimbledon, 3-0, and against Leeds, 2-0. 1 away from home, 2 at home. That means we're into the quarterfinal alongside Sunderland and Chelsea as of now. We still have a couple of games tomorrow, 5 games, like for example, West Ham against Man City, Burnley against Tottenham. We'll still probably be joined by the likes of Liverpool, City alongside Chelsea. So the big boys are the ones who are remaining now. It's going to be harder and harder. It's obviously going to be harder. So as always, let's go through the starting lineup first. Which kind of starting lineup did we start with? So here was our Arsenal starting lineup. In goal, Leno came in for Ramsdale, Kolasinac came in for Tavares, Cedric came in for Tomiyasu, Ben White kept his place. He was one of 2 players to keep their places. Holding came on for Gabriel. El Neni and Niles replaced Partey and Lokonga. Smith Rowe started once again, the second of the 2 players. Martinelli got a start on the left side. Pepe got a start on the right side. And Nketiah started up front. On the bench, we had Ramsdale, Tavares, Chambers, Partey, Lokonga, Lacazette, Saka, Balogun, and Salah from the Arsenal under-23. So for the previous rounds against West Brom and Wimbledon, we were only allowed to name 7 subs and make 3 substitutions. But from this round, the one we've played today, we are allowed 9 subs on the bench and 5 substitutions in total. So we only used 4. Tavares came in, Chambers came in, Lokonga came in, and Lacazette came in. I would have liked to see Balogun and Salah, but unfortunately, we did not get to see them. And for Leeds, this is how their lineup looked like. They had Dallas as captain, Strick, Llorente, Drama, Phillips, Forshaw, Harrison, Roberts, James, and Rodrigo, and Meslier as their goalkeeper. On the bench, they had, their names are so hard. On the bench, they had Clausen, Cooper, Jalde, Cresswell, Click, Kinstry, Gelhardt, Somerville, and Greenwood. Those were the guys on their bench. They also made several subs. The likes of Somerville, Greenwood, all came in. So that was the starting lineup. What was I asking for in this match? Let's get a quick start. Let's get a couple of goals early on. Leeds are not the best of teams defensively, but unfortunately, we did not do that. We had a couple of a bit of possession in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Niles was doing good. Nketiah was doing okay. Smith was involved here and there. Ben White and Holding were getting a lot of space to push forward. But when the moment it hits the 20th minute, we let Leeds have the ball. They literally attacked us from every single angle, every single style of attacking. Right side crossing, left side crossing. They went through our midfield so easily. That's because Niles had pushed forward. They were counter-attacking us. We had a total of like 12 corners in this game. Every time you had 1 corner in the first half, they would counter-attack us. And if we are playing, you'd expect Leeds to be a better team than the likes of Burnley and Wigan and those kind of teams. But surprisingly, they got so many opportunities to cover us open or to finish their chances, but they did not actually do that. So many times they had like 4 players against 3 of ours. Sometimes it was 3 against 1, but the last pass was awful from them. Dan James, Tyler Roberts, they did not pick out the right passes at the end, and that's where we were lucky. Otherwise, if we were playing Chelsea or Man City or something like that, it would have been 2-0 down in the first half. So we were pretty lucky that they did not take their chances. But from the 20th minute to the 45th minute, I was praying for halftime. They were literally dominating us. They were creating so many opportunities, so many openings. They were carving us apart. They were having corner after corner. I think they had like 6 or 7 corners in that first half. Luckily, we managed to hold on for 0-0 at halftime. I think also against Wimbledon, we only had 1 goal in the first half, but killed it in the second half. And that's exactly what happened here. So in the first half, in the 18th minute, Leno had to make a save. Pepe again in the 90th minute. I mean, off target once again. He's dribbling sometimes so well, and then he gets a chance to shoot the ball off target. I was getting so frustrated with Pep in the first half, and I saw so many comments on Twitter and also in the chat in the live watch along. People are complaining about Pepe, unfortunately. You can see HJ90 in the chat, and he's one of those people who always give Pepe a chance. But then again, today was very disappointing once again. This is a game you want Pepe to take charge of. There's no Aubameyang, there's no Saka, there's no Lacazette. Pepe is the most experienced player in the lineup, I'd say, in terms of the front players. Forget about the back players, the likes of Cedric, but he did not take advantage of that, unfortunately. So that was maybe our only opening. There's another time where we had a shot where Pepe blocked Martinelli from having a shot, and that was basically it. From that point on, Cedric had to block a shot from Roberts. Leno had to make a save from Harrison from a corner, and we literally did not have the rest of the ball for the whole first half. So I was definitely crying for halftime. What kind of subs would I have made at halftime? I would have brought in Lacazette from Ketia first of all, and then I'd probably have taken out Saka, Smith Rowe for Saka. I don't think it's a good idea to play Smith Rowe throughout, and he looked very tired in that first half. He was giving away the ball so many times. Not just him, Elneny gave away the ball so many times. Cedric gave away the ball like once or twice. Niles lost the ball one time. We lost the ball so many times in that first half. It was getting so worrying. But we did not make any subs, surprisingly, at halftime. And Leeds made 2 before the 50th minute. They took off Roberts. They also took off, I don't remember who, but they brought in a couple of players by the 50th minute. They looked a bit fresher for a couple of minutes. And we were not actually creating any major chances from the 20th minute to the 60th minute until the 52nd minute, until Callum Chambers came on. What an impact. The last time we remember we had this kind of impact was back in 2007. The season we were supposed to win the title, 2007, 2008, we played Tottenham at home. The game was 1-1. I still remember it very well. Babatov missed a chance for Tottenham. It was 1-1, and then Bentner came on for Emmanuel Eboe, and he scored after 6 seconds. That is still my favorite goal in any North London derby, scored after 6 seconds. And that was the last time I saw a goal like that. Chambers came on in the 53rd minute for Ben White. I'm hoping he's not injured. I just hope he's a bit tired, because last season White played every single game for Brighton, did not miss a single minute. So he's come to Arsenal, he's already had COVID, he's already going off with an injury. Very Arsenal-like, but yeah. The goal was decided or was given by the goal line technology. That's how it went in. It literally went in by inches. The Chambers header. It was a good corner from Smith Rowe. It flicked on from a Leeds player, and then Pepe over on the other side, instead of heading it in, he decided to throw it back to the danger zone with his head, obviously, and Chambers finished it with his head. As in, it was so quick. I did not even see who scored until I saw Chambers scoring. So the goal line technology helping out, because the referees had not given it. That made it 1-0. So happy for Chambers. We might end up needing him over the weekend. Now, without Ben White, if he's injured against Leicester, we're in trouble, and we'll need someone to play alongside Gabriel. So what would you guys do? Let me know. Would you bring in Chambers to let's say White is out? What would you do? Would you play Gabriel alongside Tomiyasu? Tomiyasu can play as a centre-back. That's the position he plays for Japan, and that's the position which he used to play for Bologna, and play Cedric on the right side? Or would you bring in Holding to play alongside Gabriel, or would you just play Chambers? So is it Chambers, Holding? Which one of the two would you bring in to play alongside Gabriel over the weekend if Ben White is out? If Ben White is out, we're in trouble, basically, because I think he has the pace, at least, to deal with the likes of Patson Daka. Vardy is not that major of a threat from corners, so doesn't need to worry about Chambers, about White not being good from headers. But in terms of pace and getting in behind, it's not the best of ideas to have Chambers alongside Gabriel against Vardy. So let me know who you guys would bring in if White was out. So at this moment, I was crying for us to get a second goal. Leno had to make a save as well. Cedric picked up a yellow card as well. And the 69th minute, I mean, I saw someone saying it was a lucky goal. I don't think it was a lucky goal. I think it was a good finish. Someone else would panic there. In Ketia's position, someone would panic. And it was a mistake from Dallas. It could go anywhere. He could have decided to go past the goalkeeper without flicking it over him. He could have decided to shoot it from where he was. He could have decided to go on his left foot. But he decided to remain calm, go past the goalkeeper, turn, relax. And it was okay. The finish itself was all over the place. It was not a good finish, but what's the word? the confidence of taking it around the goalkeeper, or above the goalkeeper, over the goalkeeper, and going around the goalkeeper, and actually not shooting it immediately, bringing it to his right foot and finishing it. That was a good finish from Nketiah. You'd maybe panic. Someone else would panic, unfortunately, but at least we did have someone who, the right player at the right time, basically. So Nketiah made it 2-0. And at this point, it was comfortable. That's all you need. In this competition, you need to take advantage and you need to score fast. In any cup competition, you need to score fast. I know a couple of times over the years, Chelsea in the FA Cup final, Hull in the FA Cup final, we've gone down 1-0 and had to come back. But apart from that, you have to take the lead. If you take the lead, the other team has to try and score because it's a cup competition. If they don't score, they do not get any penalties or do not go to extra time or whatever it is. But if you score fast, you have the advantage. The other team has to attack and you have the opportunity of getting the second goal. And literally, apart from that, there was nothing else that happened in the game. We only had like 4 shots on target. They had 5. 3 of them were very weak shots. Lacazette came in for Smith Rowe. Hopefully, he'll be fit to start against Leicester. And Lokonga came in for El Neni. Tavares also had to come in for Holding in the 75th minute. Hopefully, again, Holding is also not injured because Holding also went off a bit wobbly. Didn't look at the top of his game in the 75th minute. He looked very tired. So who will play next to Gabriel over the weekend? So really enjoyed this goal. I really enjoyed this goal. Look at how happy everyone was. Even Kolasinac was so happy. Holding, Niles, Ramsdale joined in here. He was very, very happy. Absolutely love Ramsdale, man. For sure, I love Ramsdale. I love everyone. I love Lacazette. Maybe not the 4 players on the left, but hey, they did the job where they had to do the job. So if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, make sure to let me know who your man of the match was and make sure to smash the like button as I come to your comments. So basically, that was it for the game. They did not create many chances apart from the first half. They had a few openings. Leno made a couple of good saves. And that was basically it. It was comfortable for the second half, very comfortable. Thank you for the super chat, RK. She says happy with the results. Amazing watch along. Thank you. Let's hope we can keep winning. Let's hope we can keep winning. Cookie says Arsenal and Chelsea through. Yeah, Chelsea won on penalties yet again. I think this is like the 4th penalty shootouts they're winning this season. Let's hope we get Sunderland or QPR. Sunderland went through, and not them or City or Liverpool. I mean, we've gotten West Brom, Wimbledon, and Leeds. Probably now, next up, we'll have a tougher test. Chelsea will be there. Liverpool will probably be there. Man City will probably be there. So Tottenham will even maybe be there. So let's get an easy draw. Maybe a Sunderland or a Tottenham, an easy game. Maybe a Tottenham at home or something. Sunderland have won, yep. Tactical says, really hope we get Sunderland and let the oil clubs fight each other. Obviously, it's ideal not to get Manchester City. Manchester City are the best in this competition over the last 10 years, so you do not want to really face them. Cookie says, ideal draw is Arsenal versus Sunderland, Chelsea versus City, Leicester versus Liverpool, Spurs versus Brentford. I think Stoke will actually knock out Brentford. We get a win and hope for some upsets either now or in the quarterfinals. HD90 says Nketiah goal as well. Lucky. The finish was lucky, but the build up to it was not. Like getting the ball over the goalkeeper, going around him, having the composure to turn around. Nketiah was man of the match. Don't know why they said that. Niles is man of the match. He was everywhere. It felt like it was a 10-man formation with Niles just told to go wherever. He was making runs up and down, tackles and key passes in attack. He was, but it still felt like they were leaving too much space in midfield. Those guys were cutting us open in the first half. Lewis Hyman says, Ainsley. Matita just spoke about Murray injury in his press conference. If Murray, Holding, and White are all out, you're in trouble. Gabriel and Chambers, Gabriel and Kolasinac. Hopefully not. I'd probably go for Tomiyasu as a centre back and just play Cedric at right back or Niles or someone. Lewis is just playing some. Wait. Oh, okay. Seasons. But hey, Glenn, I hope you're all good. Same for you, Cookie. Is that? I thought you're saying COD, like Call of Duty C or seasons. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Wait. Cop seasons. I'll try and figure it out. Cookie also says, I'm good. How are you? Eight unbeaten now, yeah. 6 in the Premier League and 2 in the Carabao Cup. 8 games unbeaten. So we've picked it up. Where we were in the start of the season against City, Chelsea, losing games. We had a lot of injuries, a lot of illnesses around the team. Pepe should be sold now. Cookie has given up on him. What do you guys think about Pepe? He's clearly not good enough. I'd sell him for 30 million in January. Major loss if a club comes in, but I think most clubs wouldn't pay that I mean, I cannot even blame you. Rafinha was bought for such little money at Leeds, but the kind of impact he has for Leeds is way much than Pepe has. And they play in the same position, same left foot, same playing style. But Rafinha, Salah, Mahrez, all those guys who play same position with Pepe, same left foot, they're all so better than him. So look at the boys in that picture, a lot of passion there. Ramsdale also came in. He was so happy, so happy. Good to hear that, Cookie. Let's see. Leno is putting up a fight. I've always said Leno is not a bad shot stopper. If you take a shot to Leno, he will probably save it. Maybe not the other kind of shots, or the other kind of playing style, like long balls, or maybe aerial ability to save the ball from a corner or something like that. Always very hard for him. So I think that's where Ramsdale is better than him. I'll tell you who would panic Pepe. He would have had someone manage to get it over the bar. Cookie's not liking Pepe at all. Niles at right back with Tomiyasu at centre back sounds sweet. How about Cedric at right back? Because I don't think he can play Kolasinac or Chambers or any of those players. I don't think he can play any of those players. COP seasons. Oh, do you mean like foot on FIFA, right? FUT. Okay, get you. Let's see. So let's get into the player ratings. Let's get into the player ratings. When I play FIFA Cookie, I'm not a fan of packs and all that. I usually like playing seasons and all that, versus mode and all that. Player ratings. Let's get into the player ratings. Let me know as we go on, which kind of ratings would you give these players? We won the game, but still was not amazed by like 5 to 6 players. Still wasn't amazed. So let's go with Leno is up first. He kept a clean sheet. He made a couple of saves. Did not make any mistakes at all. Had like 4 shots to save. So I'd actually give Leno an 8. Could be a 7 because, I mean, they did not take like 10 shots, but the 3 or 4 they took, he did well with. That save from Harrison, especially in the first half, he did great. So, I mean, sitting on the bench must not be easy for him. We have the World Cup next year. He would have expected to at least go to the World Cup, and now he's sitting on the bench for Arsenal. Ramsdale has overtook him. Should be very hard for him. So Leonard get an 8. I wouldn't mind if you guys gave him a 7, but I'd give him an 8. It would be a 7 or 6 if you consider it, but as I always say, you get an extra point for keeping a clean sheet. So he gets a 7 for everything else, and then an extra point for keeping a clean sheet. So Leno gets an 8 for today. Next up, we'll go to let's start with the left back, and that's Sead Kolasinac. Believe it or not, Kolasinac is still an Arsenal player. I mean, today, yes, he did not play like Tavares the other day, like pushing forward, shooting the ball with the right foot, winning us corners, shooting the ball with the left foot, picking out a pass. But today, for the first time, Kolasinac did not make a mistake. I've watched Kolasinac for 4 or 5 years. Today was the first time he did make a mistake. How Kolasinac cannot finish a game without making a mistake. He did give away the ball at the start of the second half, but apart from that, he looked comfortable. Again, it's always a bit. He has to be very professional to like play, because if I was in his position, no fan wants me at Arsenal. I'm basically forcing myself to be here just for the money and stuff. Maybe no other team wants me. Your confidence would go solo, but coming in for in this game should be hard for him against the likes of Dan James, very quick wingers. But he did his job, gave away the ball once. But Kolasinac is going to get a 7. He also helped in terms of keeping a clean sheet. He also had to go to centre back when Holding went off. He had to play the last 20 minutes at centre back. So Kolasinac is going to get a 7 for today. He's going to get a 7. He would get a 6, but again, an extra point for keeping a clean sheet. He gets an extra point for keeping a clean sheet. So 7 for Kolasinac. Next up is Cedric. Cedric, I'm also going to give a 7. I wouldn't mind if you guys gave him higher than Kolasinac. I think his corners were good. A couple of good tackles. He actually was our best attacking threat at some stage in that game, our best attacking threat. Usually he had that about 10 on the left side, but Cedric did his job. The set pieces were good. Some couple of free kicks were really good. He did get a yellow card though, an all over the place kind of yellow card. So that took away a point from him. So I'm going to give Cedric a 7 for today. Not that bad anyway. He gets a 7. Next up, who started at centre back? Let's start with Ben White because he came off. So White for today, since he came off, I mean, If he played 90 minutes, it would have been a 7 or an 8. But since he went off, when did he go off? It was around the 53rd minute, so he basically had only 50 minutes. So I'm going to give Ben White a 6. In the first half, I liked the way he was pushing forward with the ball. He was not afraid to pick out a pass, not afraid. He won us a couple of free kicks. I think that the 2 yellow cards they picked up Leeds in the first half, it was because of fouling Ben White. He was getting so much space, defending well, but obviously they got through past him a couple of times. The long balls to Dan James, they got past Ben White and Holding a bit too easily, and that's why I'm not going to give him a 7 for the 53 minutes. I'm only going to give Ben White a 6. Hopefully he's not injured. We desperately need him to be fit for Leicester. You cannot go into the Leicester game with, as much as I've said they've got to get a 7 for today, you cannot go into that game with Kolasinac and Cedric, both of them on the pitch, for example. This Leicester City are not Leeds. They have Patson Daka, they have Jamie Vardy, they have Tielemans, who's balling right now. You cannot give them any. You have to give them more respect, basically. Next up, it's Rob Holding. I'm going to give Rob Holding a 7. He played all 90 minutes, kept a clean sheet. Also in the first half, he had a few more, a bit more space, just like White, to drive into the midfield. But the difference between the two, Ben White can compose himself and pick a pass, but Ben White is Holding is a bit scared of picking up a pass, so he's not the best. Maybe just doesn't have the technique, but he's not played for such a while. And coming into the game, I'm keeping a clean sheet. I'll give him a 7. So those are the defenders. Leno gets an 8. Kolasinac gets a 7. Cedric gets a 7. Ben White gets a 6 because he went off early, and Holding gets a 7. Let me see what you guys are saying. Thank you, free boy. Tactical says I don't trade Cedric. Okay, wow. 7 for Leno. Ramsdale is my keeper. Cookie says Leno 8 overall good. 2 good saves. I counted like 3 or 4. RK says Leno 8. Tactical says Kolasinac 5 would be 6, but he's still at Arsenal, so he loses the point. I mean, if he wasn't there, who would we have played? Would you have to have played Tavares again? Kolasinac, I don't think that is his fault, Tactical. That's just because maybe he's not good enough. No other team wants him. And yeah, it's not his fault. Kolasinac 7, and I can't complain. Some good passing, and he didn't make a bad mistake. Kolasinac not causing a goal immediately gains him a point. Gains him 2. Gains him 2 points. Cookie gains him 2 points. Cedric 7 had a shocking corner early on. Yeah, literally went out for a goal kick. Cedric 7, good corners, good tackles, good attacking threat, was an overall good performance. I definitely agree. Tactical says White took the ball out to the midfield multiple times and actually dribbled and passed. 7. White 7, good performance. 8 if he kept it up for 90, but sadly went off injured, says Cookie. Holding 7, decent performance, a decent overall. Holding 8, actually a very solid performance. So thank you for that. Those are the defenders. Make sure to vote as well if you're watching on Facebook. Make sure to smash the like button. And let's get into the midfielders. And we'll start with Maitland-Niles. We'll start with Maitland-Niles. I'm going to give Maitland-Niles an 8. He started the game very, very well. He was winning the ball. He was intercepting. Remember, I always say, if you're a midfielder who can intercept the ball, that changes everything for your team. If you can intercept the ball, let me show you. In this position where Niles played today, where's the lineup? In this position where Niles played today in that midfield, the moment you intercept the ball in that position, you move from defense to attacking. That position is very, very important. You literally move from defending to attacking. If the other team had come forward to attack and you win the ball, you basically have a counter-attack, and he was doing that very well. He was also not afraid to push the ball forward. He did quite well in that again. A couple of times I saw Nketiah running and Pepe running, but Niall just did not fancy that pass, which is a bit of a downer because he's not that good in terms of passing the ball or picking out the passes, through passes and long passes and all that. He's not the best at that. That's the only downer from today. But apart from that, he did well. Between the 20th minute and the 50th minute, everyone was bad. But again, he picked it up, played all 90 minutes, did what he had to do. Niles gets an 8. I think one of the better players today. Niles gets an 8. His partner in midfield, Elneny, I cannot give him similar. I'm going to give Elneny a 6. Elneny is Elneny, as you always say. You'll not get too much from Elneny. Always passing sideways. I only saw him passing once up front, and that was to Pepe. And it was it was a shaky pass. It was a shaky pass. It was not a good pass. Elneny, for me, is a player who should be coming in for the last, 15 minutes to show things up, to try and keep the clean sheet that you have, or to try and spoil things, give those fouls and stuff like that. But apart from that, he cannot pick out a pass. He's not comfortable on the ball. He cannot score goals. Although last season he did get 3, he only scores like once a year outside the box. Did not take any shots. Recently, we've seen Pat in Lokong. Anytime they have a chance, they shoot the ball. Did not see any of that from El Neni. I mean, he just has the fight and the commitment, and he'll play for you any game you want him to play, and that gets him a point. But also in midfield, as I said, Niles and El Neni they were not communicating at all. Those guys were passing through our midfield too easily every single time they had the ball. Niles was pushing forward, and Elneny was also pushing forward. So that takes Niles' performance from a 9 to an 8, and Elneny's performance to a 6. So I'm going to give Elneny a 6. Not his fault really, but he's just not good enough. I think going forward, because the teams are going to get harder, we are going to have to face Chelsea and Man City in the Carabao Cup soon. Maybe start with Lokonga, and maybe Niles, if you want to rest Partey, or start with Niles and Partey. But I think going forward, you cannot start with Elneny and Niles. I don't think their relationship is that good in midfield. So Elneny gets a 6 for today. Next midfielder was Smith Rowe, who was playing as the number 10 for today. He looked very tired, not the best performance. So I'm going to give Smith Rowe a 6 as well. Smith Rowe gets a 6 as well. And this is a really low score for Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe in the Premier League games, I think against Brentford, we had such a bad game, but I gave Smith Rowe like a 7. Against Chelsea, we had a bad game. I gave Smith Rowe like a 6. Against Tottenham, Smith Rowe got 10 for me. Against Norwich, Smith Rowe, I think I gave him like an 8. So his average score this season has been around 8 and 9. So this is a very low score for Smith Rowe. He looked very tired in this first half. He lost the ball twice or 3 times. It was not the Smith Rowe we've seen in the Premier League recently. He did not pick out any passes, did not look comfortable. A couple of good crosses, and that's what it would have been a 5 for Smith Rowe, but I'm going to give him a 6 because his corner led to the goal. His corner, I'm pretty sure, is the one he took the corner and Pepe headed it back to Chambers. It was a good corner from Smith Rowe, and he also had a couple of more good corners. So Smith Rowe gets an extra point from a 5 to a 6 because of the good corners he was taking today. Cookie says Niles 9. How did he go from centre back to left back to CDM to central midfield to central attacking midfield to left wing? He was all over the place, but still never was caught out of position. Incredible performance. Niles 8 loves how attacking he was, and his pace with tackling and intercepting was good. He was playing alongside Elneny and controlled the midfield. But I think the relationship, the two of them, not good. Elneny was player today, 5, 6. I don't know what to say. Didn't even see him today. I give him a 6 because, I mean, he played. He turned up. He played where he had to do. He played for 90 minutes. We kept a clean sheet. The defending has to start from midfield. So I'm going to give Elneny a 6 for today and Smith Rowe a 6 as well. What did you guys give Smith Rowe? Make sure to vote in the chat who your man of the match was. Smith Rowe 6. I really think he lacked today, but to be honest, he should have been rested. Yep. But who you do after today? I don't know where Odegaard is. I don't know where the hell Odegaard is. ESR 6 starred, obviously, but he had poor service. To be fair, he also gave poor service tactical. He also had the ball like 4 or 5 times. Could have had the chance to do something, but he gave away. There's a time he overhit a simple pass to Pepe. Another time he lost the ball and Leeds attacked us. So not the best of performance. So Smith Rowe gets a 6. Let's get to the forward players now. Over here, you're not going to get any high scores at all. Pepe. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give Pepe a 5. It could easily have been a 3 or a 4. But just because he got the assist for the goal, it gets him an extra point. And I've never seen Pepe heading the ball. So that was something in itself. Pepe gets a 5. Pepe gets a 5 because this is the kind of game I always say I want Pepe to stand out. Yet again, he did not stand out. People could use the word he was hiding. People could use the word invisible. People could use the word just not good enough. People could say sell him. I'm not going to go as far as that because he did pretty well at the back end of last season. But it literally did not do anything. We could sit down and watch that game again, which I'm going to do for 90 minutes and trying to look at the positives from Pepe. Were there any shots off target? I think he took one corner or something, poor corner. Lost the ball a couple of times again on the edge of the box. did not win us any free kicks or penalties at all, did not dominate the game, did not put their left back under pressure at all. Very, very average performance from Pepe. I can even say below average. You'd expect him to do more in this kind of game. So Pepe unfortunately gets a 5. The next one on the other side now, what do you think of Martinelli? I do not want to be harsh. Do you think Martinelli was just also not good enough like Pepe today? Or do you think it's just because he has not played at all this season, he looks very out of place, like so many times in that game? Like he had the time to either shoot the ball, he did not shoot the ball, he decided to turn back to his weaker foot and then shoots it very weakly. Did not get into the box, into dangerous areas at all, apart from once when Pepe almost like blocked his chance to shoot the ball. I don't know. From that performance, from that game, we'd expect Pepe and Martinelli to take advantage. But from that, you cannot really say Martinelli deserves to start ahead of Saka or Smith Rowe in the Premier League. Not at all. I even saw some people being so harsh on Twitter saying, is this the Martinelli you've been crying for? He looks so out of... He does not look fit at all. Maybe that's because he's not played at all. We still need to see him again. So I'd still bring him off the bench, maybe against Leicester or against Watford in the next game. Let's see how he does. But today, I think he was slightly better than Pepe in terms of energy. So I'm going to give him a 6. The Smith Rowe 6 was a 6 going into a 5. And Martinelli's 6 was also going into a 5. Not the best of performances. A bit quiet. Martinelli was hoping for better. So Martinelli gets a 6. I know you guys would say he did not have the service, but I saw him with the ball so many times, especially twice in the second half where he had the chance to shoot the ball, but decision making was all over the place. That's maybe because he has not had any time to play at all. So Martinelli gets a 6. I'm going to give Nketiah a 7. He got us the goal to clinch the game. It's always very dangerous to have a 1-0 score. The other team could easily score and you go to penalties, just like Southampton did to Chelsea today. They still won, but it could easily cost you a win from the 90 minutes and you have to go to penalties. So get a good finish. Maybe not a good goal, but a good build-up play. Very good composure to put the ball over the goalkeeper's head, go to his left, and not just shoot the ball with his left foot. He had the confidence to bring it back to his right foot and to make sure the goal was going in. And in the first 20 minutes, I think he actually did well. He was winning the ball in central midfield. I saw him on the left side. I saw him on the right side. Up front, though, the problem is that's why you cannot play Nketiah in the Premier League. If Nketiah is up against Van Dijk will literally even have a day off. He'd literally even prefer to have a day off because he would not feel threatened at all with Nketiah. If you put Nketiah up against Vestergaard of Leicester, he'll not win one header in that game. If you put Nketiah up against, let's say, Azpilicueta will win the battle. If you put Nketiah up against maybe, I don't know, who's the strongest defender in the Premier League? I'm looking for defenders that maybe Ruben Diaz from Man City. He would have the time of his life defending against Nketiah because I don't think Nketiah scares defenses. That's the only issue. If you start with Nketiah, the other defenders will be like, this is a time off. This is time off. This is not a hard game. This is not a hard guy to defend. But he did what he had to do. Not many people like him at all. I'm one of them. I'm not the biggest fan of Nketiah, but he got the goal. He got the goal last time out against Wimbledon, a good finish as well. So 2 goals in 2 games. I'll take that. So I'm going to give Nketiah a 7. Pepe better than El Nini, but still 5. Still 5 for him, falling over in the first half. Yeah, I forgot about that. What was that? Why are you falling over? Dribbling is literally confusing himself. To be Neymar summed up his game. Pepe 3 forgets Arteta out. Pepe out, says Cookie. He wastes a spot on the team sheet. An academy player would do better. I don't think you have to say an academy player would do better. I think the academy players already do better. Smith Rowe does better than him. Saka does better than him in the same position. Tactical says Martinelli 6 lost the ball a lot when trying to run through gaps. Yeah, but that was great at times, better than Pepe, but wasn't good. I really want him to be centre forward. That's the only thing I'd say. That's why I'm also giving a 6. I would have loved to see him attacking. Martinelli 7 from Cooking. Nketiah good 50 minutes, but was invisible till his dodgy goal. And 7, Nketiah 8. Imagine Nketiah versus Van Dijk. Would be a day off for Van Dijk. That's the problem. So I'm also doing a watch along on Friday for the Arsenal under 23s. I don't know if Nketiah is going to appear in that one. So probably I'll do a watch along on Friday and Saturday. We're also playing Leeds in the under-23s on Friday and Leicester on Saturday, the early kickoff. So let's see. Unfortunately, we didn't see the likes of Balogun, Nelson, Pepe. Nelson better than Pepe. Let's get into the bench. So those are the midfield players. Niles 8, El Neni 6, Smith Rowe 6, Pepe 5, Martinelli 6, Nketiah 7. From the bench, the first player to come in was Callum Chambers, and I think that's for that goal. You have to give him an 8. He literally was, how can you come in after 15 seconds and you're in the right position at the right time? I mean, you have to be, I don't think White would have been in that position, for example. He looked very happy to score that goal. Look at everyone on the picture. Everyone looked very happy for him to score. We might end up needing him to play against Leicester because Holding went off with an injury. Ben White went off with an injury. Pablo Mari, I do not know where he is. Kolasinac, should you start him against the team we are playing? I do not think so. Leicester, I do not think so. So we probably will need Chambers to play over the weekend, which wouldn't be ideal, but we have to give him the confidence if he's going to start. So Chambers gets an 8. Good header. Obviously, it was not the hardest of finishes from the position he was in, but getting a goal after 15, 14 seconds is not a thing you see every single day. So, and he also had to go back and defend. He also had to defend alongside Holding and then also alongside Kolasinac for a bit. So I'm going to give Chambers an 8. Who else came in? Lacazette came in. He had a few openings, a couple of shots, a bit of energy. So I'm going to give him a 6. He has to start against Leicester. Would you guys start Lacazette over the weekend? Let me know that. Would you start Lacazette over the weekend alongside Aubameyang once again? Lokonga didn't see much of him, so I'm just going to give Lokonga an average 5. And same applies to the other sub who was Nuno Tavares. Is also going to get a standard 5. They were not on for too long. I think Lacazette did better than Lokonga for the time they were on. So those are the only 4 subs we made today. Before I get into the manager, I am going to see what you guys are saying about Lacazette and Chambers. Chambers 8. Chambers 8 was okay everywhere else, but that 15 to 16 second goal test started up our momentum. Yeah. If it wasn't for him, it would have still been 0-0. Very dangerous heading into the last 20 minutes without a goal in a cup competition. All they need is a penalty, a dodgy penalty, as you use the words dodgy, or a dodgy corner from somewhere, mistake from somewhere, and you're in trouble, and they'll get the win. So very, very good. Happy for him. So Chambers gets an 8. Let's go to the manager. Last up is the manager. I'm going to give MIKEL ARTETA a 7. Starting lineup, okay, 80% of it. I would not have started Smith Rowe. I do not know where Odegaard is. Ben White, okay, starting Ben White is fine ahead of, because they did not play at the start of the season, Ben White and Gabriel. So starting him, I do not mind. We do not have any European competition. Kolasinac, he did not do badly, but I wouldn't have started Kolasinac. I would have kept Tavares going. Depends on how thin his injuries is, but I would have kept Tavares going because he played so well over the weekend. Just keep him going again in this game. Cedric O'Kale, Neni Niles, not the best of midfield options. The first half was poor. And that is what takes out. Let's start with MIKEL ARTETA from a 10. The fact that we had such a poor first half drops it to a 9. The fact that, again, it started Kolasinac and those kind of players. Yes, it worked, but it drops him down to an 8. And as well, the last thing, I would have given him an 8 because we got a clean sheet and a win. But the reason I'm not going to give him an 8 because you have 5 substitutions. He used 4. You only have 5 minutes to go. Give a chance to Salah, give a chance to Balogun. Just give them the last 3 minutes. Just take out Nketiah, bring in Balogun just for 2 minutes. Let the fans see Salah for the first time. Let us see Balogun for 2 minutes. I mean, it took Chambers 10 seconds to score a goal. You never know, you might bring in Balogun and he gets a goal. So that's the only reason why I'm not giving him an 8 or anything higher, because you have 5 subs, just use them. I know they could score and turn the game around, but you have 5 subs, you're already 2-0 ahead, only 4 minutes to go. Bring in Balogun for Nketiah, bring in Salah for Niles, just someone, let's see them. So, but again, the reason why it actually goes up to a 7 from zeros is because, again, he also included them on the bench. The good thing that he included him on the bench, could easily have had Aubameyang on the bench instead of Balogun, for example. Like I said, 6, a poor shot and invisible elsewhere, but he fought off multiple defenders here. ARTETA 7, just Smith Rowe starting bad idea. Yeah, I did not like that. So, hey, we got a win. That's all that matters. We got a win. That's 8 unbeaten, as you said earlier on, Cookie. 8 unbeaten. We beat Norwich, we beat Burnley, we beat Tottenham, we drew with Brighton, we drew with Palace, we beat Aston Villa, we beat Wimbledon, and we've beaten Leeds. Could have been a harder game. I mean, when we were doing the draw sometime last month or early on this month, I was saying I do not want Leeds, get us the other teams, the QPRs and the Sunderlands. But we've done a good job. We've done a good job on it, and they actually started a strong team. Dallas, the likes of Roberts, James, they started with a strong team. So it was not an easy game. So let's recap it again. Leno gets an 8, Kolasinac gets a 7, Cedric gets a 7, Ben White gets a 6, Holding 7, Niles 8, Elneny 6, Smith Rowe gets a 6, Pepe gets a 5, Martinelli gets a 6, Nketiah gets a 7, Chambers gets an 8, got us running, Lacazette gets a 6, Lokonga gets a 5, Tavares gets a 5, and Mikel Arteta gets a 7. My man of the match, probably I will go with Maitland-Niles. He was involved a lot in terms of attacking and a bit of defending. Later on, I saw him blocking the ball from their shot. I think it was Tyler Roberts again trying to shoot the ball. Good block. Also Chambers, I mean, if Chambers started, he would have been man of the match. Very interesting 30 minutes he had getting us the goal. And also, I mean, keeping the clean sheet. He was on for 30 minutes and still kept the clean sheet. So 30 minutes is enough time for the other team to score 3 goals. So I asked in the chat, who was your man of the match? Surprisingly, 38% or 31% have given it to Leno, 38% to Niles. So you guys agree, Niles the man of the match with 38%. You've said Cedric 25% and Chambers 6%. So you agree with Niles man of the match. Let me end the poll there. So Niles has been voted as the man of the match. Let me know if you guys agree. I'll be live again tomorrow with the draw right after the West Ham Man City game. Let me see. RK says ARTETA 7. Yeah, many agree with ARTETA 7, so I'm going with a 7 as well. So yeah, he gets a 7, and Niles gets the man of the match. Disappointment of the match was Pepe. He needs to definitely improve. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the super chat, RK. Thank you, Cookie Tactical, for obviously always joining. Lewis early on, get back to playing your FIFA. Saw a couple of people from Facebook. HD90 joined. A couple of other people from Facebook as well. Thank you very much for watching. We got the win. Let's hope we get the likes of Sunderland in the next round, but probably we'll get Chelsea or Liverpool. It gets harder, guys. It gets harder. So come on, you Gunners. We got the win. Let's see who will get next round. Thank you for watching. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to follow the page if you're watching on Facebook. And I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.